A Maryland State Appeals Court has recently ruled that a $7 million adultery penalty in a postnuptial agreement is enforceable. On October 26, 2022, the Maryland Court of Special Appeals ruled against a husband who claimed that the infidelity penalty in a postnuptial agreement between him and his wife was void because it lacked consideration, was unconscionable, and was the result of undue influence. 8 years after they married, the wife discovered her husband was engaged in an extramarital affair. As part of the process of reconciliation, the wife asked the husband, among other things, that he enter into a postnuptial agreement that the husband would pay $5 million to her if he engaged in, quote, inappropriate and/or immoral conduct with his former and any new paramour. A paramour is a more formal term for an illicit lover of a married person. The husband not only was willing to agree to the wife's multi-million-dollar penalty idea, he proposed increasing the penalty from $5 million to $7 million as a showing of his good faith. Against his lawyer's advice, husband made the agreement with his wife. The husband subsequently engaged in another extramarital affair, and so the wife filed for divorce and sought to enforce the $7 million infidelity penalty. The husband objected, but the trial court sided with the wife. Husband then appealed that decision, but the appeals court sided with the wife as well. The Court of Appeals rejected the husband's claim that the postnuptial agreement was not substantively unconscionable, where the redistribution of the parties' assets did not, quote, shock the conscience, close quote, of the court, even though it created a somewhat imbalanced distribution of the assets. The $7 million penalty provision in the postnuptial agreement that was triggered if husband engaged in adultery was not against public policy in the absence of fraud, mistake, duress, or undue influence. And the Court of Appeals found that the $7 million penalty provision in the postnuptial agreement that was triggered if the husband engaged in adultery was not unconscionable given the parties' assets, and that the husband controlled whether the provision was triggered in the first place. The husband said that he will challenge the ruling in the Maryland Court of Special Appeals to the Maryland Court of Appeals. If you want to read the decision of the Maryland Court of Special Appeals, I've included the link to it in the description section of this video.